Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
Down the same old strip, I gotta find a new place where the kids are hip. My buddies and me, you're getting real well known. Yeah, the bad guys know us and they leave us alone. I get around, round, round, I get around, 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 I get around.
It's always nice to hear from the Beach Boys on a cold day. We're in Washington. I don't think it snowed a drop. Then I got into, near Cabela's, and it was snowing. Then about a couple miles down the road, no snow. But I know one thing, it's cold. Lola, are you still cold? I know it's cold here in the studio. Well,
Yes, I am.
all right. When's the last time you saw me doing this?
I don't
Blowing
know.
up my hands. Yeah,
I know, and I forgot my little fingerless gloves
Oh, okay.
today.
You need a pair? I got an extra one in the car, brand new.
No, I need the fingers cut off.
Oh, okay.
That's what I
Well,
wear.
I'll cut
here.
your fingers off, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
sure
all right.
I will.
A lot on the plate. You know, I can't say enough good things about how I've been treated by ownership. I'd prefer just to move on, leaving it at that. So I'm out of here. No, not me. That's a quote from Jim Rutherford. Of course, that's the really big shoe, the really big noise. And, you know, I've checked all of my resources, all of my contacts, and I've talked to about 3 people since it was announced yesterday, all 3 speculating. 2 of the 3, real young'uns. They think they know a lot about hockey. They don't. But I'm thinking maybe somebody talked to Mario Lemieux. So everything on why he quit is speculation. And I'm not going to speculate on the guy. You know, I'm not going to say something that's not going to be true. I'm just going to say, thank you, Jim. We go way back when I saw you in the nets in '72 against the Penguins at Boston Garden. I remember you had success in Carolina, all right? In Pittsburgh, let's see. The 79-year-old, when he came here in 2014, he assembled a group of talented veterans and young players and won back-to-back titles. So, you know, never had a problem with him. Now, if you ask me to speculate, I'm thinking he might have quit on the team because remember, after they were ousted by Montreal, he said some of the guys he felt quit on the team. So he decides to quit on the team. Or he was looking for that contract extension from Mr. Lemieux and ownership, and he did not get it. I have no idea. Or, you know, people were a little bit upset when there were rumors out there that he wanted to trade Chris Letang. I don't know. And I can't even remember last time I speculated on anything, all right, other than going over mortgage rates a few years ago. You know what? He was General Manager of the Year in 2016. Oh, by the way, he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2019. No matter what the outcome is, I like and always will respect Jim Rutherford. But man, why did you quit like 7 games into the season when you have an opportunity to win another cup? You just don't walk away, you know? Tom Brady will never walk away. He wants to win, you know? If he wins a Super Bowl this year or doesn't, he's going to be back next year. He wants to play till he's 103. I don't know. But I don't know if he will speculate, but I will ask him one tough question, and that's Jay Caulfield. He's not in the studio, so he can't get up and punch me, all right? Plus, I think I can outrun him. With my bad knees, Lola's going to have to trip him. Then once I get out the door, I'll be free, whatever. But there's a lot of speculation. You know, everybody that has a platform is going to say, well, this, that. No, I'm not that way. I don't speculate. And that was not because of health problems, okay? I'm thinking it had to do with a contract extension not given He had plans on trading Letang. That might have been a blockbuster, right? He's been noted to pull the trigger on blockbuster trades. The trades he made with the Penguins turned out pretty good. Back-to-back Stanley Cups, okay? Could the team win one this year? Maybe, if Sid stays healthy. Letang plays the whole game. Malkin is okay, and the young'uns contribute. But other than that, no. Pittsburgh off to a 4-2-1 start. Will play in Boston tonight. By the way, the whole hockey world is talking about this move. Earlier, I was talking to some friends of mine that work at WEEI in Boston, where I worked a whole long time ago as a producer for $1.45 an hour. That was big bucks back then. A couple of friends of mine at the Globe, they're all speculating, and they cover the NHL 24/7. So, but everybody is talking about Jim Rutherford saying, "See you later." Okay. One Super Bowl note. How about this, Lola? As of Tuesday at 6 o'clock, the highest paid ticket, it's called Get in the Stadium ticket, $9,439. Can you imagine if I took you to the Super Bowl? We're talking $19,000.
I just have more dollars than cents, that's for sure.
I had a problem this morning buying a bacon cheeseburger for you for $1, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
That was good. That
Lola
was-
and I ate very well. I won't mention the restaurant, Burger King. They do this thing, they got $1 schedule and $1.99, French fries $1. I think I spent $4.82 and we ate well.
What'd you do, miss the turn, and that's how you ended up on the island?
No, I had to go to Bridgeport for something, and I got gasoline, which is a lot cheaper next door. And I'm thinking, you know what?
Well, you know, Janie said it was only 207 down in Moundsville.
Yeah.
But I'm not, you know, unless I have more than just saving,
Yeah.
well, actually, 207, you're saving 28 cents a gallon or something.
But Jay Caulfield will be joining us. Mike Berger, a very familiar athlete when he was in Pittsburgh. His best friend, Dan Marino. That's how I got his phone number, by the way. I did a favor for him. He says, "What can I do for you?" And you know, when you ask me that, I'm going to ask you for something special. Hopefully, I can get Dan Marino next week when we interview a lot of great players who have played in Super Bowls. And he played in one and against Joe Montana, and I thought he'd be back over and over again. I don't think Greg's going to call us, Lola, so can we take a break and I'll call him? All right?
Yeah.
Let's take a break. And the voice of the Pirates will come on, and I'm going to tell him about the latest trade rumor that I've heard. All right? It involves somebody you all know. We'll be right back on The Variety Show.
When winter weather strikes the Ohio Valley, you can trust the Storm Tracker 7 weather team to help you plan your day. Our experienced meteorologists stay connected with you on TV, online, and on social. Get your weather information straight from a local source. We'll help you be prepared and make sure you'll never be surprised.
And we do expect dry conditions overnight, tonight, and all day tomorrow.
Meteorologist Dr. Dave Walker, Aaron Mylar, and me, Zach Petty, the Storm Tracker 7 weather team, working for you.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Thank you for riding with the Watchdog. Live and local, just the way you like it.
A lot of good stuff coming up next week as we look back and talk to some former players in the National Football League, namely the Miami Dolphins, Pittsburgh Steelers. I got a lot of ex-Steelers coming on to talk about their experience in the Super Bowl, all right? This young man has some experience. He went to 4 in a row. I don't think that'll ever be done, but he don't like to look back. He likes to look ahead, and that's Greg Brown. Hey, Greg, how are you?
Bill, I'm doing great. I was doing great until a buddy of mine texted last night a video clip of Scott Norwood's missed 47-yard field goal down in Tampa against the Giants. It was 30 years ago yesterday that the wide right first of those 4 Super Bowls occurred down in Tampa. I cannot believe it's been 30 years.
Well, I didn't send that to you. I wouldn't do that. Oh, yes, I would. I would do that.
Of course.
I would like to say, by the way, on our hotline, we got Scott Norwood. He couldn't pick up the phone. It was wide right. No, I couldn't. I bet he still gets questioned on that, or if he goes in the supermarket, hey, I remember you, you know? It's just,
yeah, he was a good guy.
He is a good guy.
There are kind of peculiar, I guess is the best way to put it, unique personalities in all of sports. And sometimes you can generalize, I mean, I do, that kickers are kind of like left-handed pitchers. They're a little quirky. Yeah. And every place kicker I've met has been like that. To a degree, punters are like very down-to-earth people. But they're different than other positions, much like left-handed pitchers. They're just a little quirky. There's something different about them, and Scott Norwood was like that, and that was a hurting thing when he missed that field goal.
Well, some sportscasters are a little bit quirky too, wouldn't you say?
I would say that for sure.
yeah, but you know, hey, have you heard the latest trade rumor involving your boss?
No.
Well, your boss and my boss made it, there's speculation, and you know I hate that word, in need of office supplies. My boss is willing to send me to Wheeling to work at the newspaper writing a sports column, and in return, Bob Nutting's going to send my boss, because we need office supplies here, a box of ballpoint pens, all right, a box of tablets, and $20 in stamps, forever stamps. Now, they wanted to throw in Lola, and I said, you can't do that.
Wow. So Lola is not going in this trade.
No.
She will not be the player to be named later then, huh?
No, she won't be.
Okay.
Only if she gets traded to Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, you know?
Yes, I do know, yes.
It's funny you bring up prospects. I'd like to do a talk show with you where we don't talk about the Pirates and prospects. Now, what is it? There's an Adam Frazier rumor out there that he might be traded? Did you start that?
Oh, no. Heck, I've been trying to knock that one down for years. You know what's funny about rumors, Bill, is that, and speculation and just throwing stuff out there, eventually you're probably going to be right. Like, if you keep throwing things out there, for example, if I had said 10 years ago, boy, Antonio Brown's not going to be a Steeler for life, or Ben Roethlisberger is going to retire, for example. If there have been people that saying Roethlisberger's last year has been going on for 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, eventually he is going to retire or be traded, and those people will say, see, I told you.
Yeah.
How about all the people that said Tom Brady will eventually not be in a Super Bowl with the Patriots, but with another team?
Yep, I never
People have thought, wow, yeah, no, what are you talking about? Well, that's what's going to happen.
And by the way, the merchandising store right next to Gillette Stadium sold out of everything number 12. Helmets, jerseys, T-shirts.
Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
So, but, it's cool. It's cool. It's going to be strange to see him in a Tampa Bay Buccaneer uniform, but it's also going to be strange to see him throwing to Antonio Brown.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, man, isn't it? It's crazy stuff.
And it's going to be crazy to see Le'Veon Bell. I guess he's going to play wearing a Kansas City Chiefs uniform. One of those two ex-Steelers are going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I've used this example for a lot of years when people have criticized the Pirates specifically, generally baseball, that it's not just the Pirates. It's every sport. It used to be when, heck, when I was growing up, I'm old enough to remember when one player, Willie Stargell, stayed with the team his entire career. But those days just aren't Terry Bradshaw, Mario Lemieux, those days are gone.
Yeah.
They are gone.
How about
Sidney Crosby will be playing with a different team someday.
Oh, I don't think so. Is that speculation?
Well, yes, and it's good speculation. I mean, the chances are better that he's going to play with another team someday. Way better odds that he'll be playing with another team than he will be with the Penguins his whole career. Way better.
Yeah, you're right.
Those days are gone. Tom Brady, whoever thought he would be wearing another uniform? Wayne Gretzky, when he was with the Edmonton Oilers, you'd have said he was going to be playing for the LA Kings someday. People would have said, you're out of your mind.
Yep. Oh, by the way, I just got a text from the boss. He goes,
The deal is off.
Yeah, the deal is off.
There you go.
Yeah, they found some supplies, office supplies, I think up at the Highlands, but, whatever.
So no deal.
No deal. I'm sorry. I was going to write an article about you, but we don't have to do that. Hey, Joe Namath wearing a Rams uniform. Johnny Unitas, Chargers. Can you imagine?
Those are two great examples right there.
Yeah.
Now,
well, whatever.
It'd be fun to do an entire show, I think, or to hear it. Not me involved. I'd love to hear. Go back. Those are two prime examples. How about some other iconic figures that you forgot or couldn't believe they played with another team? You thought their whole careers, and look how far back you go.
Yeah.
And so for people to criticize it's wrong.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen in sports. I say it doesn't happen anymore. To your point, Johnny Unitas and Joe Namath. I mean, that's incredible. How about Franco Harris?
Yeah, he's a Seattle Seahawk. I think it was John Clayton, I was standing right next to him, said, well, what do you think of Franco playing in Seattle? And Chuck Noll said with a smile, a crap-eating smile, I can't use the other word, Franco who? How about James Harrison? I watched him last night tackle that guy in an insurance company.
Yeah, that's a funny career. Yeah, James Harrison's another one.
New England, give me a break. He hated the Patriots. Then he played for him for a year and almost got a ring.
Yep. So, again, I really hope, and it's up to Bill DeFabio to lead the way amongst all these members of the media all over this area and all over the country to knock it off when because you can talk, you can discuss, and you can bring other points of discussion to the table, but throw that one out. It's misguided.
All right, you ready?
Players
for this one?
do not stay with the same team. Yeah.
The big trade involving six-figure athletes. Each was making over $100,000. Bobby Bonds went from the Giants to the New York Yankees for Bobby Mercer in a trade of Bob's.
Wow.
Because I always thought Bobby Bonds, he's going to be with Willie. Well, Willie Mays wore a Met uniform in the
there you go.
World Series.
That's another one. So you could go back and think about all these guys that it's truly incredible they played with some other team. Yep. And you can count on one hand the number of iconic players who stayed with their franchises, any sport, from start to finish. Yep. Every team has maybe a handful who played with one team.
Yeah. By the way, this is the longest I've ever been with one station. That's why I have a collection of microphone flags.
And people thought you were going to be with one station forever, and here you go.
Yeah, here I go.
It just doesn't make sense to hear Bill DeFabio on another station.
Yeah, well, that's, every station I either got fired or quit, went to another station, I collected microphone flags.
That was nice of you.
Yeah. Well, I knew the engineers, and they said, yeah, go ahead, take one. So I got a collection of them. They might be worth some money someday, whatever.
There's another show. We've talked about that where you do an hour-long show about all the stuff you've, and this is in air quotes, collected.
Yeah, borrowed. I can give some.
Borrowed.
Hey, let's do that show with guys we never thought would be with other teams or whatever when you come down here for a whole 2 hours, okay?
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We'll start working on that project.
Because I got to give you that Wild Things Clemente jersey. And what do you owe
Yes.
me? I forgot.
Steve
Blass bobblehead.
Yes, I knew it.
Okay.
It was right on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah. Somebody asked me this morning at the coffee shop in Washington, will there be any delays with Major League Baseball? Isn't that up to the players and the union and the owners? Because the owners want to play maybe, 152 games? But the players say we want paid for 162, you know?
Well, here's the situation is this. The owners want the fans to come into the stands to see the game, to pay, to watch the game so that the owners can make some money.
Yeah.
And now it seems as though many cities are not going to allow fans, at least initially. So many are not doing that in hockey and basketball. So the owners don't want to go through what they went through last year, where they lost a ton of money because they weren't getting any revenue. The players don't want to take another pay cut. So they're saying, the heck with that. We are playing, and you will pay us what you owe us. So we're at a crossroads, it looks like, again.
Yeah. We've seen this scenario before, right?
Yeah, I don't understand how in the world you don't open up in Florida outside and let people come in socially distant. Nobody is forcing 85-year-olds to go to a ballpark. Yeah. I mean, especially younger people. Let 20 and under kids come to the ball games.
That leaves me out.
Well, that's fine for a while, but open it up to someone. It just doesn't make sense. Just be smart. Yeah. Just be smart.
Well, this is something I want you to think about. Are the Tigers, Lola's Tigers, coming to PNC Park this year?
Yes.
Okay. She'd like to broadcast one game. Can you arrange it?
Of course.
Not on the Pirate Network, on the Tigers Network.
Oh, absolutely. I'll call my buddies. So Jim Price is the color announcer.
Okay.
And I'll call him and say, you've got a new play-by-play partner.
Okay. And you tell him you don't have to pay Lola. Just have a 6-pack of Bud Light. Therefore.
Oh, yeah, he'll go for that. Easy.
Well, actually, I don't even need the 6-pack. Just tell them to pick up the tab for the beer at the
concession
field,
stand. Yeah.
because that will more than equal a 6-pack.
I'll get on that right away.
Thank you, Greg.
Jim Price. Call Jim. Yeah, got it.
For Lola. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, you know, going back to fans in the stands, at some point in time, we have to allow personal responsibility to enter into these things. If you know that you have comorbidity factors in your life, or, you know, something like that, or you haven't been vaccinated yet, then don't go to the games. It is up to the individuals if they want to put themselves at risk. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just personal responsibility. I understand, you know, all the procedures and everything that they have in place. But at some point in time, as long as you're protecting others around you, you know, if you want to get it, that's up to you. But protecting others around you, it's your choice to go and spend the money and be there. You know, I just don't get this, well, you know, we're just not going to allow anybody to do anything. And yet, you know, they're letting college sports have fans. I don't understand that.
All right. Hey, we'll talk again next Thursday, and, you know, find that date in February when you can come in the studio, okay?
I don't know, he dropped.
Oh, did he? Okay. All right.
So my rant was for nothing.
I didn't know. I thought he was still on the line.
I did too, or I would have shut up.
Jim Price, good guy. Hey, another good guy's coming up. His good friend, well, he played sports at Central Catholic with him, Danny Marino. No, Danny's not a guest yet. Mike Berger, who works for the Milwaukee Brewers, knows a lot about what's happening in baseball with prospects, trades, and I just found out a couple of my friends that were scouting in Seattle and Cincinnati were fired because, you know, they can't do their job. They can't really scout anybody if nobody's playing baseball. Mike Berger, next on the Watchdog. Coming up at 1:05, Jay Caulfield. I have some interesting questions for Jay concerning Jim Rutherford, who said, I'm out of here. Right now, I'm out of here for a few minutes because we are AM 1600 and we have to take a news break.
Managing your business can be a minefield. One step in the wrong direction, and it can feel like everything you've worked for is at risk. I always had a vision of building a team, a crew of true professionals that could handle it all, tax, insurance, and investments. Big enough to partner with Encova, but personal enough to protect your interests on the home front. I'm Gary, and this is the Glessner Group.
Find your style with Patriot Lighting from Menards. We carry a great selection of interior lighting products. Check out the Leaf Island light. Its stylish design will add a modern touch to any kitchen with its satin nickel frame and graphite accents. Just $149.99. The Brooklyn Island light comes with vintage style bulbs and has an industrial feel. Right now it's only $189.99. Save on everything to update your home now at Menards. Price is good through Sunday, January 31st.
Save big money at Menards.
In a hurry and need to see a doctor? The Woodsdale Health Center and Walk-In Clinic is located across from Little Caesars on National Road. Open 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. Patients can receive primary care, treatment of minor illnesses and injuries, wellness visits and physicals. There's also a lab draw station open from 8 to noon weekdays. A division of Wheeling Hospital, the Woodsdale Health Center is led by family physician Dr. Michael Wilson. Call 304-234-1971. They'll take good care of you.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
Now's a great time to go Toyota for reliability, value, and style. And RAV4 is the #1 selling SUV in America over the last year, with available all-wheel drive in gas or hybrid models. Now get up to $1,000 cash back from Toyota through February 1st. For more offers, shop Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Then see your Toyota dealer. Go Toyota, and let's go places.
Are you struggling to make payments due to an unexpected financial obligation or loss of income? Are you receiving calls from debt collectors? Are you feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what steps to take next? Then you need the experience and expertise of attorney Tom McIntyre and his staff to help guide you through these temporary hardships. Want to hear more about how Tom can help? Then call 877-456-4155 and receive a free copy of Tom's ebook, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Tom's ebook covers many questions people have about bankruptcy and includes interesting stories about people who tried to avoid filing and people who have filed for bankruptcy. We think you'll be surprised to learn some interesting facts about bankruptcy. Call 877-456-4155.
The weather will affect you every day, whether it's good or bad. The Storm Tracker 7 weather team is here to make sure you're never surprised. You can trust us to help you plan your day.
36 degrees here in Wheeling.
On TV, online, on your phone, our experienced meteorologists are here to help you prepare for what's ahead. Watch the Storm Tracker 7 weather team with Zach Petty, Aaron Myler, and me, Dr. Dave Walker. Weather coverage you can count on, working for you.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. State Department of Health and Human Resources confirming today 787 new COVID-19 cases, and the daily positivity test rate is at 4.82%. There have been 30 new deaths added to the numbers. There are now 539 people hospitalized across the state. That is a number that continues to fall. And West Virginia Hospital Association President and CEO Jim Kaufman says having fewer COVID patients means hospitals can start to do more non-emergency procedures, many of which have been delayed by the pandemic. However, Kaufman says that has to be done in a certain way to restart those procedures.
They've been dealing with COVID for 10 months. And that does take a toll on staff. So even when you can reopen back up, you got to be careful we don't burn staff out either.
Meanwhile, COVID vaccinations are continuing. Speaking to members of AARP in a telephone town hall earlier today, Dr. Clay Marsh, the executive dean of the Health Sciences Center at WVU, as well as the COVID-19 czar for West Virginia, noted the Mountain State continues to be a leader in getting the vaccination to those who need it most.
I'm happy to report that because of the great work of so many people, that we've vaccinated over 85,000 over 65-year-old West Virginians out of about 350,000.
Demand for the vaccine is high. The Martinsburg VA canceling a planned walk-in clinic today because their supply of the vaccine for the two-day event was exhausted yesterday. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. A wreck near Princeton claims alive. State police say a pickup truck left the roadway and crashed into a small stream near the intersection of Mercer Springs Road and Brickyard Road Wednesday. The man driving the truck was recovered and pronounced dead. His name was not released. Last night's snowfall that mainly impacted the southern coal fields is long gone, but the chill that it left behind is here for a while. National Weather Service issuing a wind chill advisory for parts of Grant and Pendleton County from 9 tonight until 11 tomorrow morning. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
You're listening to The Watchdog, now on FM at 97.7 and 98.1. Sounds so clear. You can hear Bill DeFabio's mustache grow. The Watchdog, live and local talk radio, just the way you like it.
You gotta be kidding me. Why did I check my Red Sox thing here? They're interested in bringing back Mitch Moreland? Oh, yeah, he's gonna help them win a few games. I don't know what's wrong with my Red Sox. They have an owner who owns what? A soccer team, and he pays some of his players like $30-40 million a year. They can't go out and get a couple good players? I don't know. Maybe they should make Mike Berger in charge of the Red Sox. You want that job, Mike?
Or maybe they're getting Mitch Moreland to play soccer. Billy, how are you, buddy?
Why complain? Nobody listens to this old geezer, you know? And the young ones in my business, they think they know it all, and if I was younger, I would have probably a confrontation, but now I just nod my head. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, the Red Sox need first base help. Oh, how many times has Mitch Moreland played for them and left? Twice? 3 times? And when was the last time the Red Sox traded with the Yankees? What's going on here? They hate each other.
That was interesting last week. I thing, and sure enough, those were the headlines. That it's a very rare occurrence, but I guess expect the unexpected in today's world, and that certainly falls in line.
Yeah, I know you used to go to the original Permane Brothers. So here's a bet. You ready? I'll bet you a Permane Brothers sandwich wherever you want me to take you if you lose. I was talking about minority head coaches in the NFL, and the Houston Texans signed David Culley, who was the assistant head coach with Baltimore, but he spent 3 years with the Steelers as a wide receivers coach under Bill Cowher, okay? I'm going to ask you, maybe you don't remember, I do, who was the first man of color to be the manager of a team in Major League Baseball? I got it.
Frank Robinson.
I don't got it. Okay. I owe you a sandwich, buddy. I thought you wouldn't get it. I thought you wouldn't get it because of your age. You're much younger than I am. Whatever.
I got up a little earlier than you did today, though, I'm sure.
I remember it. He was also like a player, head coach, and manager. Hit a home run, I think, in his first at bat with the Indians.
And if you'll recall that year, what year was it? Don't hold me to it, 91 or 93. They started off like 0-22.
Yeah.
So it wasn't exactly smooth sledding for Frank Robinson, but yeah, what a player! And I've actually I've had conversation with players that did play for Frank during that period, and they loved the man. I mean, he was an ultra competitive player, but he was a very, very fair, good motivator during his time as a major league manager as well.
Yeah, well, he didn't shake my hands when I was doing a special on the Giants when he was the manager. I remember going into the clubhouse. Mr. Robinson, I'm Bill DeFabio with ABC Radio Sports. I put my hand out, and he said, I'm not shaking your hand. So
yeah, but you didn't greet him properly.
What was I going to say? Hey, superstar.
No, here's to you, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, I get it. Oh, you got me twice. Now I got to buy you a beer with the Permane Brothers sandwich. But you know what? He was involved in the biggest steal of all times. He went to Baltimore, right? From Cincinnati for what? Milt Pappas?
Yeah, Milt Pappas. Was it Wayne Simpson, maybe?
Might have been.
Hold.
Lola can throw a fastball better than Milt Pappas.
And Milt Pappas, who in Milt Pappas' mind had a perfect game stolen from him.
Yeah.
Pappas had a perfect game going into the eighth, and borderline 3-2 pitch went ball 4, and he had a little meltdown there. I believe it was in Wrigley Field. Wound up throwing a no-hitter, but lost a chance at a perfect game.
And, the Cardinals stole Lou Brock from the Cubs. I forgot how that trade went down. That was a big steal, too.
Yep.
I said as a kid, wait a second. You don't trade Lou Brock unless you get Willie Mays in return.
Fives. There were a number of them.
Yeah.
Morgan was from Houston to Cincinnati. Yeah, there have been a number of them over the years. Okay.
In the last 14 days, the Pirates have made a couple of trades where they traded a couple of names, Musgrove and Tyon, and in return they've got a total of 9 prospects. Are you familiar with any of those names that could make it big time wearing a Bucco uniform?
Yeah, I'm familiar with them. I actually thought it was 11 players. Don't hold me to that, but I know it was quite a return, at least from a quantity point of view. And let me say, as somebody who lives in Pittsburgh, and certainly as somebody who works for a rival club in the division, I think they're doing the right thing. I'm frankly. I think more of this needed to be done during the old regime. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to simultaneous to doing. You're just going to have to let your fan base know that hey, this is what we're up to, and this is the objective in mind. But yeah, I've seen a number of their players that they acquired coming up through the minor leagues, and I'd say all in all that the return for me, was a good return for the organization, and it has them layered, and you should see a handful of them in the big leagues.
Well, I said it, I think Tuesday or Monday, I forget what day, but I said it on the air, and I did a commentary at another venue that, you know what, in order to win some Pirate fans back, Mr. Nutting or somebody should say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give Mr. Hayes a 7-year contract for zillions of dollars because we want to build around him. And we're going to be rebuilding for a couple of years, but we want to make sure down the road you're going to have a contender. I think that could bring back a lot of Pirate fans who, I know a lot of my friends are not renewing season tickets. You think that's a good idea?
I do, and Hayes for me, Brian Hayes brings back memories of Bill Madlock. That's actually the comparable that I Brian, going back to, we had Brian Hayes when I was with the Marlins. We had Brian Hayes at a pre-draft workout, and that's exactly who he reminded me of. Forget Charlie, his father, who was an accomplished big leaguer. He reminded me of Bill Madlock, and what a great get for the organization. He's a tremendous talent, tremendous young man, and I don't disagree with you at all. End the cycle of losing these young talented players when they get 3 and 4 years of major league service time. Yeah, take a chance, and I like the idea. Get them wrapped up now. Get a couple of them wrapped up now.
Yeah, once in a while I say something that makes sense. Hey, this is the latest. Adam Frazier might be traded. Would the Brewers be interested in a guy like that?
I don't know. I'm not privy to any dialogue. That,
Speculate. Everybody's speculating about Jim Rutherford. Why don't you speculate about Adam Frazier?
Oh God, that was a lot. I hate to see the city lose Rutherford too. I know that's not what we're talking about, but a lot of respect to Jim Rutherford and 2 cups in 7 years, and selfishly, Billy, it's refreshing to see somebody on the wrong side of 70, let alone the wrong side of 50. Run a major league sports franchise and run it as successfully as he's done. And I certainly hope that his departure was on the up and up. But I have a lot of respect for the individual and for the accomplishments during his 7 years in Pittsburgh.
How tough is it going to be with the rookie manager of the Pirates? He's still a rookie, right? Trying to build a winner, because I think right now the Pirates, I think they're worse than those Detroit Tigers that Lola used to like. She only goes with winners, by the way.
Yeah, naturally. I mean, I don't think anybody is expecting Pittsburgh to have a winning record this year, and they're picking 1-1 in the draft. They should hit on that. They had a really good draft last year. Had the headliner being the Gonzalez, the second baseman they took, 5th or 6th overall. So, if these players pan out, beginning with the 11 players, if it's 9, 10, or 11 they acquired in these trades involving Bell, Taillon, and Musgrove, they're on their way. And then you couple that with, again, Cabrian Hayes, who's there, Reynolds, who's there, Mitch Keller, who is scratching the surface, Gonzalez, O'Neal Cruz. I mean, there are a number of players there. And, for my money, Billy, it's all about, and I think Carrington's doing a good job. And I think it's all about, where are we as an organization in Pittsburgh in 24, 25, and 26?
You forgot Stallings, too, one of the best defensive catchers in baseball.
Done a wonderful job. I'm a huge fan of the way he handles the staff and just the respect he commands. And you know what? It shouldn't surprise anybody. He's the son of a coach. So that's kind of the way I see him. I've left some players off that list, but I think they're doing the right thing. And again, as one who works for a competing club within the division, I certainly I don't want to see them have success anytime soon from the competitive side. But it's still it's the hometown team, and you got to give credit where credit's due.
Hey, I'm the son of a winemaker, and I could make some great bottles of wine. Used to squish grapes with my feet with my great uncle who raised me. Yeah, but I was never the son of a coach. Maybe that's why I end up behind a microphone.
Well, you're the son of something, I've always said, but...
Thank you. Son of a gun, right? Yeah.
Son of a gun. Son of a gun.
Hey, we were talking yesterday, and you gave me some news on a guy that used to pay me to be the PA announcer at the Wild Things, and that's what our good friend Ross, and I just forgot his last name. Tell me his last name.
Ross Vecchio.
He's no longer a scout, and I guess a lot of scouts, because of COVID-19, either lost their jobs or they were furloughed. Was it that bad?
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. Throughout the industry, scouting in particular. And that's not to leave out a lot of individuals in the front offices, in public relations, ticket sales, marketing. There's been a bloodletting of sorts within the industry, as there has been in most all of business the last 6 to 10 months. It's directly related to COVID. It's unfortunate, and we've all, I think, everybody in my end of the business has felt the pinch somehow, some way, and we all certainly have friends and relationships guys that here we sit January 28th or whatever it is that aren't in the game, that have been in the game their entire lives, whether it's coaching, scouting, managing, that are on the outside looking in, and it's very disappointing.
Yeah, that's well. How the Brewers look? I know you have one of my favorite players, Yelich, because I saw him play in Washington in the Pony League World Series, and
yes, he did.
And he was as thin as a green bean, but and I think he had a home run too. But his name wasn't the big names there because you had all the great youngsters from Puerto Rico, China, and all that. But I remember, and I never thought that he would be a big-time MVP guy. in Major League Baseball. Is he really a good guy off the field, like I hear?
Yeah, fantastic. And, I have the good fortune of spending, 4 years with Yelly in Miami. And you can draw up any conclusions you want, but Mr. Yelich and I both wound up in Milwaukee within 2 weeks of one another. So, but he's everything. He's everything and then some. Obviously, the talent is supreme, but he's just a tremendous young man. Perfect teammate, wired right. There's a perfect blend of toughness and grit and everything you're looking for, on top of the superior athletic ability. And I've had the good fortune of watching him come up through the Miami Marlins system when I was over there, and then certainly the last it's hard to imagine 3 years in Milwaukee where he won an MVP and was a runner-up in the other season. So, real talented guy.
Hey, you're familiar, not with Milwaukee, but with Miami on rebuild/retool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that had to be tough.
Yeah, and I was a part of the rebuild from the standpoint of they got rid of me in order to rebuild.
Wait a minute, Derek Jeter was still paying you for not working for him, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's through I guess through no fault of his own. But no, when Jeter and Sherman purchased the club, it's going on 4 years now. Yeah, they did what they had to do, and that was beginning with cleaning out the upper reaches of the front office. Billy, I always say I went out the same day as Jack McKeon, Tony Perez, and Andre Dawson.
Wow.
So they were a part of the purge too. And again, no ill will. I mean, that's business. That's baseball. And if you're in this business long enough, or you're in your side of the business long enough, you're going to get smoked, and you just move on. But that's when the rebuilding, retooling of the Miami Marlins began. Was again 4 years ago. They traded Stanton. Again, we brought Yelich over to Milwaukee. Ozuna was traded, and if you look at Realmuto, think of the talent we had there just 4 short years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's remarkable.
Or when Jim Leland was there, and then the next year they just butchered the team.
Yeah. But it's a tough market. Tough market down there, and it always comes down to dollars and cents. And there's not an owner in this business who doesn't want to win. It's just trying to manage the the day-to-day responsibilities of money coming in versus money going out.
I know you took care of me with a phone number for Dan Marino, and make sure you talk to him and tell him Billy Boy's going to be calling him. But I need another favor.
Yes, sir.
I'll pay you. I want to be that guy in Milwaukee when somebody hits a home run. I want to come down the beer slide.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? We could change it from Bernie Brewer to Billy Brewer.
Whoa, you like that, Lola?
That's a seamless transition.
Yeah.
Billy Brewer.
Billy Brewer. Boy, I love it.
Yeah.
The problem is I got a bad ticker. Would I make it all the way down without dying?
That sounds like a personal question.
Yeah, that's what, 4 stories high? That thing out in the outfield?
I think it's 5 stories. I actually have a friend in the business, in the scouting world, that went into Milwaukee 2 years ago and had to sign a waiver. Now, he's much younger than you and I, but he had to sign a waiver. He's 38 years old, and he had to go down the slide. And so they made him sign a waiver and blah, blah, blah. Before you know it, he's torpedoing down this slide, and he said it was well worth it.
Yeah, I couldn't do
Billy
that.
Brewer. Yeah, Billy Brewer.
I'd have trouble with that because it's heights that bother me. And you know what? When I go to Kennywood, I'm always on the merry-go-round, and I get the heebie-jeebies doing that. So, all right.
Yeah, well, we've got time.
Okay. Hey, it's always a pleasure talking to you, and I know you're always available. I don't think I could do all the traveling you do, but you got 30 seconds to tell me, how do you scout kids now when there's not a whole lot of games and you can't talk to them one-on-one?
Video. I've learned more about technology in the last 6-7 months. through Zoom calls, through just the video libraries that all 30 major league clubs have, Milwaukee included. We call our video compartment the keg. And there's just all kinds of video that's at our disposal, and you make your best judgment you possibly can in lieu of seeing the player in person. Hopefully that gets back to normal here real soon.
BB DeFabio, Billy Brewer DeFabio. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Okay. Hey, thank you, Mike.
Anytime. Happy New Year to you guys, and take good care of yourself. We'll be in touch.
You too. Thank you very much.
Okay, Billy. Bye-bye.
His dad, Jack Berger, was a PR director with the Pirates. He gave me a season pass when I came here from Boston, New York. Usually when you're a new kid on the block, you get a one-game ticket, then you got to call in for another one. He gave me a season pass. I am the luckiest guy in the world when it comes to broadcasting. All right, Jake Caulfield, standing by.
Is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Travers ABC News, Washington.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy will meet with former President Trump today in Florida, even as the former president is planning for an impeachment trial. At the same time, Homeland Security issuing a rare national terrorism advisory warning that, quote, violent extremists could strike again after the Capitol attack. And the FBI is making more arrests.
A California man is now charged after allegedly being found with 49 firearms and 5 pipe bombs. The FBI claims he was preparing for an attack and texted, "I want to blow up a Democrat building bad. I hope 45, President Trump, goes to war. If he doesn't, I will." And now a California Democrat is introducing a bill to expel Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's accused of endorsing political violence. In a 2019 Facebook video, Greene appears to support executing Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
ABC's Alex Prochet. Struggling retailer GameStop having a moment thanks to Robinhood, the financial services company behind the stock trading boom that sent shares for the video gaming company from $17 a share earlier this month to $347 yesterday. Young speculators fueled by an online group pooling their buying power against hedge funds. You're listening to ABC News.
The Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Squares Sweepstakes is back. It's the largest official game of Super Bowl Squares ever, with millions of dollars in prizes, and best of all, it's free to enter. Every score change, someone wins $50,000. Just enter for free at RocketMortgageSquares.com, and it could be you. Touchdowns, field goals, safeties, extra points. Every single score change will draw one lucky winner from the square to win $50,000. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. One way to enter, 2 ways to win. See rules and enter for free at RocketMortgageSquares.com. Then tune into the Super Bowl on February 7th to see if you bring home some dough. Rocket Mortgage, official mortgage sponsor of Super Bowl 55.
No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age of majority. Ends 2/4/2021, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. The NFL entities as defined in the official rules have not offered or sponsored this promotion in any way.
After yesterday's warning about domestic terror by the Department of Homeland Security, Houston's police chief calling his city a hotbed for right-wing extremists. He's urging residents to be on the alert. Art Acevedo, including a group called the Thin Blue Line, whose members helped storm the U.S. Capitol on January 6th.
What really angers me is that the Thin Blue Line's been hijacked by racists, by militia groups. It's been hijacked. And you know what they did with the Thin Blue Line flags? To the Capitol police officers, they beat the hell out of them.
An Italian mayor has been found guilty of involuntary manslaughter for a deadly panic at a sports stadium.
Many Italians are perplexed by a court here that has found the mayor of the northern city of Turin guilty of involuntary manslaughter. That's after a stampede during a screening of a 2017 soccer championship that left 2 people dead and hundreds injured. The stampede was triggered by a group of thieves who used pepper spray on their targets. 4 men were sentenced to 10 years in prison. A court found Mayor Chiara Appendino and others guilty of poor management of the event. Appendino is appealing the verdict. She says it's unfair that she's held responsible for events triggered by what she called the mad actions of a gang of robbers. Megan Williams, ABC News, Rome.
German health officials making a preliminary recommendation to give the AstraZeneca COVID vaccine only to people ages 18 to 64 for now. That committee says there isn't enough data to judge
its effectiveness in older people. This is ABC News.
With the new president, so much is happening in Washington. Now, millions are turning to Newsmax TV, your trusted news source. They're going online to Newsmax.com for breaking news and downloading the free Newsmax app on their smartphones. Newsmax TV is on all major cable systems. If you don't get Newsmax, call your cable operator or watch it free on Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Xumo, Pluto, and smart TVs like Samsung and LG. Newsmax is real news for real people. Start watching today.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog
The
trusts.
Storm Tracker 7 team is here to warn you when winter weather will affect your day.
And as we go through the overnight after our coating of snow, we'll wake up tomorrow morning with a few snow flurries.
We are also here to help you make the most of the season. Is it a good day to build a snowman? Should you take the kids sledding? Check out our app before you head out the door.
We're going to bottom out to temperatures in the upper 20s.
With meteorologists Dr. Dave Walker, Zach Petty, and me, Aaron Myler, we've got weather coverage you can count on. 7 News, working.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Mostly cloudy skies, a couple of flurries, daytime high near 25. 18 degrees for the overnight low under mainly cloudy conditions. You'll see clouds and limited sunshine for your Friday, with temperatures in the mid-20s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
And welcome back to segment number 2 on the Variety Show. We've had a variety of discussions already in the first hour between hockey and who did I talk to in hockey? Oh, my hockey guest is next. You know, I'm going to steal the publicity and the money that's made in the WWE. Coming to a nearby arena called PPG, I've already settled this. I'm going to sell a lot of tickets. I'm going to split it 3 ways. Myself, Ty Domi Sr., and Jay Caulfield. Ty and Jay will go at it in the main bout. What do you think, Jay?
Oh, Bill, nice to talk to you, Bill. I know you're always planning. I get it. Nice to see you. How you doing?
I've been better, but that's okay. You know, I have some aches and pains, and I know you're still young at, what, 38?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, I read this earlier. I don't know if you got the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette or you get it on your cell phone or computer, but I can't say enough good things about how I've been treated by ownership. I prefer to just move on, leaving it at that. That's a quote from Jim Rutherford. When you got the news yesterday, did you have to sit down or did you go out and have a couple of beers?
No, I mean, it's just kind of, it just seems, it's just sports. It just seems like it's the way things go, right? I mean, eventually, even somebody at the top of their career has had an outstanding career as a GM in the NHL and what he's accomplished. And sometimes there's always going to be, there's going to be a separation at some point. It's going to come to an end, right? Once you sign on a dotted line, the meter's running for you to be done. And I think we all accept that. I mean, we all understand that. And whether it's whatever it is internal, I think first of all, we all cleared it up that it's thankfully not health issues or anything like that for Jim. And that's the great part. The second part is, well, there must be some, if you look at it, just from anybody, you look at it, well, maybe there was disagreement on how they were going to move forward. Has to be something like that for something to occur and come up at this time. And but I think in the sports world, we're all used to it. We were used to it when you're a player, that at any given time your career could come to an end, or in a certain city, and you have to, if you get moved or you move on, you have to find something different. I think that's how most people who are in the game or played it look at it. And it was a shocking timing wise, yeah. That's why you sit there and go, well, there must have been a disagreement somewhere with how they're moving forward, and that's without any knowledge of what's going on. I think that's just reading between the lines of what we hear, and just the timing of a move like that. Because certainly, what Jim Rutherford has done here in Pittsburgh, and he's in the Hall of Fame, and they've won cups, and the Penguins have helped him get there, and he helped them get there. So that's how I view it. So.
You think because, maybe he wanted, this is speculation. I can't spell the word, but I've been hearing a lot of it lately. Maybe he was, not demanding, but saying, hey, what about that contract extension? And maybe he was told, not right now. I don't know.
Well, I don't know about that. I would look at it like, I think any time in this pandemic world, I think that has put a wrinkle or a wrench in a lot of people's plans.
Yeah.
So I don't believe, I haven't heard that, and I would say I would find it hard to believe in a time where things are being cut and the cap and no money, no people in the stands. It's kind of hard for anything to come in and ask for a new deal at this time. But I have not heard that. I wouldn't think that would be the reason. I think everybody would understand where the game is at right now. The National Hockey League does not have TV deals like the NFL where they can survive, and even they aren't in a good place, but they still survive and still make a lot of money to each team just with the TV deals alone. And the NHL does not have that. It's a tougher pill to swallow for the National Hockey League versus other major sports leagues in the U.S.
Yeah, one of the, was it NBC, whatever it is, sports, they're not going to be around towards the end of this year. So, they got to find somebody else.
Right. Well, I think it was NBC Sports Network, right? But I don't know what NBC. I think the deal's up with the network part. But yeah, that's a big part of it, Bill. NBC carries the national games, and NBC Sports Network. I mean, their whole league runs through the NBC Sports world, if you will. And yeah, that was a surprising thing. I'm not sure what that does, or whether that's going to maybe eventually be better for the NHL. They find another partner, and I'm surprised the NHL and NBC does a great job with the NHL, and I think the NHL and the NBC both like their partnership, but the sports network part, I'm not sure if that's going to be something. Hey, they still do. NBC does national games, and maybe there's another partner as far as the secondary games, if you will.
Well, we're going to hear this. Well, this Penguins and the Capitals on Hula, or the Penguins and the Capitals on Peacock. I don't know. I have no idea.
No, it could be a Peacock is what I did here. That's something that I heard they're trying to steer that way. Not the NHL, but NBC.
Yeah,
possible.
Right. I didn't notice. I'm looking at his bio, and he was quite impressive. He was impressive in Carolina. He helped build a team here that had a lot of good veterans, not named Sid or Letang or Malkin. He built a team there with veterans and good youngsters, back-to-back titles. But his 6.5 years in Pittsburgh, Trader Jim, I know I got the name, 61 trades made by Jim, many of them blockbusters. He wasn't afraid to pull the trigger, was he?
No, I think when you're on a team, no, he was not. But I think if you're on a team that like the Penguins, when you have the integral parts to win and you're missing only a few pieces, it takes a mind like that and management as well, ownership, all this type of thing to come together and say, well, we're giving you carte blanche to get the guys we need to win. And I think I believe that a lot of those deals were, hey, we've got these pieces from Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Marc-Andre Fleury in the net, and Matt Murray, the guys, you got to find let's find the other pieces that fit to fill out our top two lines, or we need secondary scoring, or we need another defenseman, or and Jim Rutherford had the ability to go out and do that, and he had the helping hand of his ownership, letting him. I think it's a partnership with that. You need somebody who wants to spend money, and you need the GM that can pull the trigger and be smart enough to get the deals done. And that's certainly what Jim Rutherford did. And I think I know he's even quoted. I can't imagine Mario probably one of the easier going. He expects success, but and really commands it. But he's letting you know that, hey, you're running this part, you do it. And it was a great partnership up until, this isn't just about Mario. There's multiple people involved in this. It's the decision with yesterday. I don't know I don't know where they maybe went off track. I think that's the one thing we just don't know. But I'm sure the way Mario runs things, he's as straight up. And I probably think some of the two best owners in sports might be the Rooneys and how Mario's run the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I won't disagree.
I think
they're
pretty open to it all too. Bill, they want success. They open up the pocketbook and they'll let that guy do his job.
Yeah.
And now Jim Rutherford, I'm not sure where different directions felt and came up, but obviously something like that happened for him to walk away in the beginning of a season.
Did it hurt when after Montreal beat them in the first round last year when he said, I can't quote him, but he said something like he felt that some of the players quit on him. Could that have hurt him down the road? And now he's quitting on the Penguins.
No. Yeah. No, I don't believe that. I think that's a lot of times. You know what, Bill? I believe a lot of times some comments are made in the heat of the moment, and you probably a lot of times maybe a lot of people should stay away from any comments until you settle down.
Yeah.
Just take Aaron Rodgers, for example, in football world, Green Bay. Disappointed, bad timing to put a mic in front of him, and he talks, and then all of a sudden everybody's running rampant with stories. I don't believe that would have anything. I don't think the Penguins. I don't think that outing against Montreal in the bubble last year just didn't work for them, and they didn't have a good series. And changes are going to be made, and Jim made them.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes from here. But yeah, I don't believe that.
Okay.
No.
What do you think of his replacement? I'm not too familiar with him. Maybe you can help me out.
No. Listen, I think he's been a part of the organization. I believe now just stepping up to just fill in until they find what it sounds like is they're looking to find somebody right now. But obviously, enough faith in an individual that's been in the organization for a while, from the scouting side of it, everything, overseeing talent. Obviously, must be a great hockey mind. I do not know him personally, so but I'm thinking if you're in that role, in that position, there's been a lot of players that have been around here, from Billy Guerin, Tom Fitzgerald. Mark Recchi was the guy that would have been coming up the ladder in that particular role. He took a job. He was in management, Then all of a sudden they needed help in the coaching side. He went that direction, and probably ashamed, because if he didn't do that, he might have been the guy we're talking about sitting in that particular role right now. So, but I think they have trust, they have faith, must be a good hockey mind and viewer of talent, that they have enough faith to let him kind of take the reins, and you go from there.
Was it Rutherford or Mario or whatever, or Coach Sullivan that, eliminated coaching staff with the exception of Mike? Could that have anything to do with it? Maybe some people didn't want Recchi and company to leave.
You know what? I think there's. It's funny. It's not funny when there's guys' jobs on the line. I think the shame of it is sometimes when a team underperforms, somebody's going to be the fall guy, right, Jim?
Yeah.
I mean, the fans want to change. They need something to happen. Right, wrong, indifferent. If a guy goes, is that the right guy? Was it, that kind of move? Something had to happen, and the coaching staff, the assistants, are the ones that were vulnerable last year, and that's how that move took place. I believe. Look, I think all things are looked at, and Mike Sullivan knows it. As I said about 5 minutes ago, the day you sign on the dotted line and you're under contract, the meter's running the opposite way, right? So no matter how successful you are, the minute something starts to go sideways or you don't have success for 1 year, now it's 2 years, the microscope is on you. The spotlight's even bigger. All those, whatever phrase you want to use, it comes on you. And I said, we all understand that. And I think when you're in that world, that coaching world, they truly understand it because they're so vulnerable. Even if something is not your fault, if the team stops responding, then somebody has to go. And I believe that's what took place in that situation. And assistant coaches are very important. Mark Recchi's a great friend of mine. He might, maybe it just didn't, maybe they looked at communication between players and this and that, from all across the board, but that might not have had to be the move that happened, but they did want to make a change, and it wasn't going to be Mike Sullivan, so they got to make a change somewhere. And they bring in two new guys, and they move forward from there. But again, I think we're all used to it. Honestly, I don't mean to be, I think every player, in hockey it happens more than other sports, right, Bill?
Yeah, you're right.
We don't see the, football, we always know there's Black Monday, right?
Oh, yeah.
Monday comes along after the season ends and how many coaches get fired. It's almost like people look forward to seeing what's happening, right?
Yeah.
In hockey, it happens repeatedly during a season. A lot of times they feel a coaching move is good for it. It'll turn a team around. It happens in hockey more, and we're all used to it.
Yeah. I remember, I still like the Boston Bruins. Will I root for them tonight? I'm not going to tell you. But Patrice Bergeron said it when he was a teammate of Mark Recchi. This guy down the road is going to make a great head coach. I remember that quote because every player that I've talked to that has worked with Mark seemed to be like 2 or 3 stories ahead of the foundation when it comes to the knowledge of hockey. And I like Billy Guerin too. We might see one of those two guys, but I'm going to wait for Alvin, who's serving as interim GM, see what he can do.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll make a trade that helps the team. Who knows? It's his job to win.
And it's a very unique year, right, Bill? As we all know, it's extremely. This is different. I mean, the trade deadline, before you know it's going to be upon us, and there's a lot that's going to happen. But I expect the way it sounds to me, and everything I'm hearing, I think they're moving quickly to find a replace, to get somebody in there.
Yeah.
And that's not to slight the assistant GM that moved up. I'm just saying I think they know they need they're looking for somebody, and I think that's going to happen. The way it sounded, it's going to happen fairly quickly. Yeah. So we'll find out. Just because there's just not a lot of time.
No.
There's not a lot of time to play around, and it's a very unique, different year, and we'll see how it plays out, though, Bill.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of strange things. I remember when Bobby Orr was no longer a Bruin, and I saw him in a Chicago Blackhawk jersey about puked. Matter of fact, I had a pinball machine, Bobby Orr, but Don Cherry, was it Don Cherry? Yeah. And Harry Sinden wouldn't permit the company, Rally, to put Orr in a Boston Bruin uniform. So I had a pinball machine, and the value of that machine went down because he was not in a Bees uniform. I puke when I see the Washington Capitals with Chara. Give me a break. He should have ended his career with Boston.
You know what?
Wayne Gretzky. There's another one. Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if that can happen, I will still say I could never imagine Mario being any other place, and it didn't happen. But if Wayne Gretzky can get moved, obviously that's the line everybody would use. If he can get moved, anybody can get moved. But I could never imagine seeing Mario in any other jersey than black and gold. So of the Penguins, I just couldn't see it. But you know what's so wild right now? When have you ever seen bigger name quarterbacks? Let's go to the NFL.
Yeah.
I can't. It was the quietest departure. Tom Brady leaves New England. I mean, maybe not as quiet up in New England, but he just left. And he goes to Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl again. But all those Super Bowls, and a player of that caliber is allowed to move on. And Philip Rivers leaves after 15-plus years in San Diego. I mean, the number of players that are moving on, I know Joe Montana went on. I understand that. I know, go back to Joe Namath and went different places. But when Joe Montana went, that was a wild scenario. But to see it all happen right now, these big-time players that have been so successful for their teams, to just move on with not a lot of fanfare, if you will. Not a lot of, hype about it. It just moved.
Yeah.
And you don't see that as often. Now we're seeing it more.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be a trend. We'll see. But hard to believe that just a player like Tom Brady moved on, and ironically in the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, Brett Favre. I thought he'd be a Green Bay Packer forever. Aaron Rodgers may move on. Lola's favorite quarterback, not favorite team now because they're losing, Matthew Stafford. He's going to be moving on. You'd expect a guy like that and Rodgers to stay with the team that drafted him and signed him. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? And I don't blame Stafford because here's a talented quarterback that they're not going to win. They're not winning in Detroit. And for him to move on, this might be the best thing that happens for him. I'm sorry for Lola because I know she's a fan, but it's kind of wild. I mean, this might be something that's good for him. But yeah, all these great players are moving on, and people aren't even hardly batting an eye about it. So when we see something change in sports, that's why I talk the way about it that I do, because you become cold to it. You just become like, hey, this is part of the deal. I mean. Yeah. When players move on, it is what it is, they tell you, right?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, you're here for how many years was Char in Boston? Sorry, time to move on. We're not going to re-sign you. Well, all you give to the organization, city, and things like that, and then it's time to move on.
Yeah.
And I think everybody just accepts it, just as Char has, and I'm sure that'll be a little bit of a strange feeling for him to go back to Boston. But there's no fans, which will be different, but strange thing for him to go back there into that building and go in the visitor room. That's a different thing for an athlete, but he's professional and he'll just continue to do his job. And he's going to do it really well. He's going to do it very well for Washington, I'm sure. And I think Boston will miss that.
Yeah, and I'm sure the first time he is on the ice and he sees Patrice Bergeron, he wants to put him on his ass.
He might be a little delicate with a couple of the guys that he knows, really all those special friends. But I'm sure they only respect him and they expect him to play hard against him.
Yeah, it's just still strange seeing him in another uniform, but that's just the way it is. I've seen it in baseball. I was just talking about when two $100,000 ball players were moved. The Yankees, they thought that their guy, and I just forgot his name, and I just used it not too long ago. Barry Bonds' dad, Bobby Bonds, was traded to the Yankees. And the name, I mentioned it an hour ago. Who was it? And he got into San Francisco and couldn't hit a home run because of the wind. Bobby Bonds went to New York and had a lot of home runs. I just mentioned it.
No, I don't remember.
Hold on. Do I have it here? No, I don't. I just mentioned it. You ever get like that? Jay, something's on the tip of your tongue.
Sure.
You just said it an hour ago?
Yeah, I do. I think it happens to everybody, Bill.
But, Willie Mays in a New York Mets uniform. Are you kidding me? I know. It's all whacked. It's all whacked. But, that's sports. It's a meat market. It's just not named Giant Eagle. It's called professional sports. So
that's right. That's true. It is. But that doesn't when I go back and when we do talk about Jim Rutherford, obviously having 2 cups, he comes here and they win 2 cups and again in the Hall of Fame. And I said both parties benefited. He benefited from the Penguins, and the Penguins benefited from Jim Rutherford, and I think that's how I view it. And then just at some point there's a disagreement, and somebody's moving on, and that's really what it's about. And maybe one day the story will come out, but right now I think everybody's just kind of just going about their business and trying to make the moves that will benefit each other.
All right. In about a minute or so, because we talked a lot about Jim Rutherford, and I want to forget about him right now. He's going to do well. I'm sure he's made a lot of money. I thought if he hung around, maybe he could have got a fourth Stanley Cup ring. But what do you or don't like about the current Pittsburgh roster?
Oh no, well listen, I always the league is just so different. But the one thing, I mean, they've got with Kapanen. Now you see the roster with Kapanen. Now I know we've got so many injuries. Let's take, if everybody's healthy, all health included, if you took the roster and you have Kapanen in the lineup, you immediately have this speed. You're trying to get speed on each line if you can, right? You can, if you can have, you got Rust up top and Gensel and Crosby. That's fast line, hard-working line, and can produce and finish, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got Malkin's on. I think what we saw the other night, Kapanen finally working up. Now he's at the second line slot. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter. You've got top six. They've got top six talent on the top two lines, and however they piece them together, that'll be just great. So they can go against anybody when they start to produce and play the way we're used to seeing them and the way they know they can. Then you get the third line. You have Tanev involved with that. Now it looks like Blueger's the third line slot, and whoever's going to end up on that left side. McCann has had a very good start to his year. He's playing hard, fast. All these kind of things, so you got to like that. The fourth line, still injuries involved in that, but I'd like to see that Sam Lafferty get himself back into that situation. But I think they were very happy with that young O'Connor the other day because they gave him good minutes, they gave him power play time. He did an outstanding job in his first game.
Okay.
Fourth line's all there. The only thing they're missing, they don't have the meat, Bill. They don't have the heavy, but they don't play that way. So as long as you're fast and skilled and play the game hard, that's the way this team is built. They do not have something when you're going hard against Washington or a big Boston team or a Philly team. But so far they've played them all and they're having no problem.
Yep.
So let's hope it just continues on. But their talent is there, Bill.
30 seconds. Talk to me about the youngsters in the Nets who were formerly playing in the ECHL against or with the Nailers.
Yeah, listen, I think for Jari and both the Smith, I think Jari obviously had a tough start. The Smith came in, settled it down, gave Jari a couple more days of practice and working with his goalie coach. And when you do that, he comes back, finds his game. I think there'll be two guys that they need to be, and I think they will be solid all year long. And you just need that goaltending to give you that chance for the Penguins to peck away or come back. And after the first couple starts, they've really settled down. And I think they'll be very good. And that's who you're banking on. You're relying on that. That move had to be made. Too much money for Murray. And they'll be two good guys, and I think they'll do a great job, Bill.
Well, speaking of good guys, I've said it before. I don't throw out great compliments, but you do a great job on the broadcast. And that's one of the reasons why I stay there from beginning to end, intermission, postseason. I mean, you tell it like it is. Sorry, Howard Cosell, I had to steal that line. Keep up the good work, and I'll keep teasing you. And I was only kidding about Ty Domi Sr.
I know. No problem, Bill. Great to talk to you, and tell Lola hello as well.
All right. Thank you, man. All right.
Bye-bye.
And that's the way it is, okay? And we'll be back on this Thursday, January 28th, with our regular visitor, who's going to be happy with all of the cassettes I found to give him because he's driving a car with a cassette player, and that's Ryan Tucker. Wheeling Coin and Hobby on 10th Street in Wheeling, next to the Bridge Tavern in downtown Wheeling, wants to buy any and all unwanted gold and silver jewelry. They are paying top dollar for 10, 14, 18, and 22 karat gold plus 925 sterling silver. They also want to buy collectible coins and paper money from before 1933. Wheeling Coin and Hobby is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Coin and Hobby, 304-232-8430, and add them on Facebook.
In a hurry and need to see a doctor? The Woodsdale Health Center and Walk-In Clinic is located across from Little Caesars on National Road. Open 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. Patients can receive primary care, treatment of minor illnesses and injuries, wellness visits and physicals. There's also a lab draw station open from 8 to noon weekdays. A division of Wheeling Hospital, the Woodsdale Health Center is led by family physician Dr. Michael Wilson. Call 304-234-1971. They'll take good care of you.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
Does your company's website work for you? Is it helping attract new clients and improving your brand awareness? If not, or you don't know, contact the team at Omni Strategic Technologies. With expert web developers, they build amazing web experiences that help their clients perform better. Contact Omni at 304-242-7600 or visit them at www.omniperforms.com.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
My little girl hurt her foot and needed a doctor fast, but her physician wasn't available, and I wanted her seen as soon as possible. Then I remembered the Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care, right in downtown Wheeling at the Stone Center on Market Plaza. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, the center is ideal if you have a sudden sickness or injury. The doctors and nurses were great, and they also provided x-rays, a pharmacy, and lab draw station. No appointments needed, and convenient parking is nearby. Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care. They'll take good care.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. The DHHR today says nearly 52,000 West Virginians have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Those new numbers out today show furthermore that 175,000 have gotten the first dose. Governor Jim Justice says he is thankful the state is set to get a few thousand more doses of COVID-19 vaccine next week, but the governor says West Virginia did not get the additional doses they thought they would for being most prepared.
Everybody's screaming the same thing. Send us more vaccines, send us more vaccines. We thought we were going to be tremendously rewarded for doing this unbelievable job.
The governor with those remarks at his media briefing Wednesday at the state capitol. A North Carolina woman is facing 40 years in prison for the torture and murder of a Minnesota man nearly a year ago in McDowell County. 33-year-old Anna Marie Chordroy of Boone, North Carolina, detailed for a judge the death of 38-year-old John Thomas McGuire on Valentine's Day of last year. Two others were charged in the case and have already pleaded guilty and are in prison. Chordroy described tying up McGuire after one of their group claimed he was a snitch. He was beaten, tortured, burned, and injected with methamphetamines for hours, and later after his death buried in a shallow grave. Now, Chordroy told the judge that she was threatened with violence herself if she refused to participate. She is currently incarcerated in the South Central Regional Jail. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Yeager Airport Director Nick Keller announcing Wednesday the airport has extended its contracts with Delta, American, and United Airlines for another 2 years.
Just with all the uncertainty going on, everybody thought it would just be a lot better to continue what we have now because it's working.
Those were due to expire in June. Yeager also today announcing that American is bringing back its daily flight to and from Charleston to Reagan National Airport in Washington. American had suspended that flight last year due to the pandemic. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Attention Facebook followers. You can now watch the Valley's #1 morning show with Howard Monroe. Weekdays 7 to 10 a.m. Only on Watchdog Radio and the Watchdog Facebook page.
Here she come now, say morning, morning. Shoot 'em down, turn around, come on, morning. Hey, she give me love and I feel alright now. You gotta toss and turn and feel alright, and I feel alright. I say yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 'cause you make me feel so good, so good, so good, so fine, so fine. It's alright when I feel alright. I say yeah, yeah,
Yeah. How many times did I say that? Ryan Tucker's here. He's smiling because Uncle Billy just gave him a big bag of cassettes. Now, you have what, an 88 Buick?
It would say 96 Buick.
Oh, 96 Buick with 88,000 miles.
88,000 miles on it, though, yeah.
Navy blue.
Navy blue.
Was your grandfather's?
Yep.
Yeah. I was going to take my bag of cassettes back because I saw the Notre Dame license plate on the front.
I mean, that was my
Oh,
grandfather.
I don't care.
Come on, I can't. Come on.
It's bad enough I see JoJo with a Notre Dame license plate in front of his car. I see Biff with his Notre Dame collection, you know? That's okay. That's all right. And who does Notre Dame playing Saturday? Pitt.
Oh.
Pitt's a slight favorite. Notre Dame struggles at times. They get big leads and then you lose them, but that's been the same with Pitt. But it's a good rivalry. They should always play in football, too, but this past year was an exception. So, yeah, some of those cassettes have never been played.
That's great.
I didn't
Honestly,
buy them.
love
Somebody brought a young lady, I think, from Weirton brought a box of them. Then I added to them. I still have a box of 8 tracks stuck with some cassettes in there, you know?
That's great. No, we drive around with my kids and we still play those, you know. The cassettes.
Yeah, there's like the best hits of the 60s. You're going to go, wow, I didn't know that was big, you know? Yeah. But you don't know anybody with an 8-track?
I don't know anyone with an 8-track, no.
I don't know any, because I want to
No.
give those away, too. Yeah, 8-track. Lola, you don't have an 8-track, do you?
That would be a no, Bill.
Okay, all right. You have a cassette player in your house?
Oh, maybe in the house.
Okay.
Maybe in the house.
How about your truck?
No.
Okay, all right.
And just a CD player.
Yeah. Ryan, I know you're a youngin'. You're about 40 years younger than me. That's okay. Live a good life and enjoy every day while you can. But you don't remember the 8-track, do you?
I know. That was definitely before my time there,
Well,
Bill. But,
I had an
you know.
8-track player, and I used to belong to the Columbia Record Club. You know, you buy one, you get 11 free, but what you don't know is you have to return a coupon at the end of the month, or else they send you a record for like $15.
Yeah, with the shipping, $10.
Yeah, so I got the 8-track club, and I collected a lot of 8-tracks. And I also got like a portable 8-track player from our friends at Columbia. I don't even know if they're in business anymore.
I can't imagine. I don't know who they're selling to.
But you know what? I had a
What,
couple.
you can't?
There's no way they're-
Seriously, you can't think of anybody they'd be selling to?
Yeah.
Come on, put your thinking cap on.
But there's somebody out there that's got an 8-track player. You got to, you know? People are buying record players again.
That's something I collect.
And
you know,
there's brand new records out there at Best Buy. I won't mention the name, but for $23, $24. You know, when I used to pay $1.99, $2.99. Except when I didn't return that card, it was like $9.99. But whatever. But the 8-track, I had a couple old Cadillacs. I'm an old Cadillac guy. I always made fun of my great uncles. They were old, kind of on the chubby side, and they all drove Cadillacs. I said, "You'll never see me in one of those." What? I get older. I get bald, I get a little bit fat, and I'm driving old Cadillacs, but they had 8-tracks. And it's great. I told you this before we went on the air, I'll make it public now. I remember listening to My Girl. I got sunshine. Goes to 8-track 2. Louie Louie, you know, Louie Louie. Well, come on. You hit a bump. It goes from track 2 to track 4. Track 4. It was great.
Well, still a way to jam while you're driving, and
Yeah.
you know, have to have a soundtrack while you're cruising out there. That's for sure.
Speaking of cruising, I had a friend who bought a 57 Chevy that had a record player in it.
Wow.
How about that if you hit a pothole in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Because we got potholes in Pennsylvania, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost a Volkswagen once in a pothole, you know. I was walking down the street and fell in a pothole, but they found me. Okay, but yeah. Enjoy the cassettes. More's coming.
I appreciate it.
You know?
Appreciate you thinking of me.
Yeah, I could have given them to Goodwill and they could have sold them for a couple bucks, but I know you. I don't know anybody at Goodwill. Plus, I just gave them like 15 sports jackets. Some I bought, never wore. You know, I don't know. What do I find for Lola? I found something from Super Bowl in Detroit, Lola. Was it a
Yeah, a
booklet, a
t-shirt.
pamphlet? No?
It was a T-shirt that had
Yeah, I found more
Michigan
stuff. Yeah, I found more stuff, you know? So, yeah, Lola's got a nice collection of sports stuff between West Liberty. You don't wear anything Notre Dame, do you?
No, I do not.
That's because she likes Michigan, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame has no business being in that conference unless they're going to play all the sports.
Way to go, Lola.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
that
you're
ticked
right.
me
No, I mean,
off from the
I
very
agree.
beginning.
Yeah, they
It's
only
like,
play
oh,
this
they
year.
only want the big money ones,
Yeah,
you know?
they got their own network, you know? But Biff loves them, even when they get their butts kicked by Alabama. Right, Biff? I know you're listening. Yeah, you're listening? Alabama always kicks your butt. There we go. Enough of that said. Okay. All right, we got game Saturday? Are you
we're
sure?
back.
No PP. Postponement.
We're back on schedule.
I'm getting tired of these
Hopefully-
PPs out there.
I know. Hopefully that was our one little bump in the road. Got it over with. Hopefully we got what COVID we had with the team is out now, and we'll be back to playing Saturday, January 30th against the Indy Fuel.
And I guess I just talked to DJ Avicella before the show, and I asked him if he got to see the transactions. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in the ECHL with transactions. I didn't know Fort Wayne was the Comets with a K. I thought it was C. Okay. I didn't see that coming. Get it? Comets coming? Whatever. Greenville Swamp Rabbits? Why would you name your... Was there a lot of swamp rabbits there? There's a
must
lot of
be.
alligators.
Yeah.
Here's one. Well, Indy Fuel, I understand that. Rapid City Rush. Does everybody get high or what?
Must, yeah.
Yeah. And the South Carolina Stingrays. I bet that's an interesting logo.
Yeah, that's who we were going to host last weekend, which would have been a great weekend. That was it.
Did they have COVID-19 or did we have? I shouldn't say we.
Yeah, it was on both sides. It's it's just one of those things. So
And NBA is they're averaging 2 or 3 a week. A game, really. There was like 3 last night.
Yeah.
4 the night before, you know? Teams getting ready to go on a team bus to go on a jet plane, you know? And, oh, sorry, we can't go, you know? Waste of money, you know? This thing's got to end. It's up to you and Denny Magruder to put an end to COVID-19.
Well,
how about if we
I'll
put
put
you
that-
in charge of distributing it? Because it's having trouble doing that, you know? I guess the state of West Virginia having a problem distributing vaccine, Lola?
No.
No?
As a matter of fact, West Virginia is #1 in the country for being able to get shots in arms. Their problem,
Take that,
along
Bill.
with the rest of the country's problem, they can't get enough vaccine when they're supposed to get it. So the new administration now is giving out a 3-week schedule ahead of time so that states can actually plan ahead of time for, distribution. But no, West Virginia is not
Number 1.
#1 in the country.
Well, hey, number 1 when it comes to vaccines, never number 1 in football or basketball. Oh, I didn't say that. Did I say that, Ryan? I'll probably get some letters or whatever.
No, because everybody knows you.
Everybody knows. Dave Clark 5, 1965 on their 3rd album. You remember the Dave Clark 5, Ryan?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. You know, a lot of your cassettes are the best hits of the 60s and 50s.
that's good. I'll be able to get a whole bunch at once in me, and I'll be.
And then the kids, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The wife, wow, I didn't know that was number 1. The Twist, was that a song? Yeah. Was Chubby Checker the guy's name? Oh, yeah, Chubby was Chubby, all right. I got to be serious for a second, okay?
Good luck.
Yeah. No, this is serious because I remember this guy. He passed yesterday, one of the all-time great college basketball players, maybe one of the top 5 ever to wear a Mountaineer uniform. Chris Brooks passed away. Mr. Brooks was one of 5 Mountaineers with over 1,660 points, 750 rebounds. He played at WVU when guys didn't play 1 year and quit to go to the pros. He was there from 1988 to 1991, and I think his senior year in March Madness, WVU beat Tennessee, then lost to Duke. That's a nice resume. Only 54. Ask me how I know him. He played in the McDonald's All-American game at the Civic Arena. You want to guess who the PA announcer was?
I'd say that was Mr. Bill DeFabio
Yeah,
there.
so that makes me real old.
Yep.
Real old.
You know who else died yesterday,
Oh,
which
don't
is
tell me.
really a sad thing?
Oh.
Cloris Leachman.
She had to be in her 90s. When did she die? Yesterday?
94, I think,
Oh.
yesterday. Yeah. Young Frankenstein, one of her best roles
Oh, yeah.
ever.
Yeah. Didn't she play the nurse?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was she in Blazing Saddles too?
No,
Okay.
that was Madeline Kahn.
Okay, I got the two mixed up. All right. 94? Wow.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the third one? What are you looking at me for, Ryan?
I'm sorry.
It comes in threes and you're looking right at me. Lola wouldn't even do that.
She just thinks it.
You're right.
Oh, Ryan, how well you know me.
I've been here enough now. I got this. I got this system figured out.
Yeah, only one of 5 Mountaineers with over 1,600 points and 750 rebounds. That's a hell of a career.
Sure is.
And he was one of the first players to leave the Bronx or Brooklyn to come play basketball in West Virginia, you know. But they were good teams, too. They've always had, seemed like quality teams. So, but 54, real young. But he leaves a legacy that, you know, if you remember the Mountaineers back then, and I certainly do, you know, Gail Catlett had some great teams, and I watched the Celtics the other day play, and I was only looking for one guy, and he wasn't Tatum, what's his name? Lola, what's that star's name? Jason Tatum, yeah. Or Brad Stevens, I was looking for, and I see him all the time with the mask, Joe Mazzulla, a great Mountaineer. Does that ring a bell?
No.
He was also the head coach at Fairmont State. He'd always come over to me because when Fairmont State had played at Wheeling and I'm doing the PA, and he says, you know, Pitt sucks. And I'd always say the famous number and words, 13-9. He never said a word after that. But he was a quality guy, real quiet. But I've seen him yell at some of the players, and they need it sometimes. Next thing you know, I get a phone call, hey, your buddy's with the Boston Celtics. What? And there he is on TV, man. I'd like to see more of him, but I'm not paying the money to get NBA TV, you know. That's like I'm not going to pay the money to get the ACC just to see Pitt play. Lola won't pay for extra anyhow, so I don't know.
It is bad. On top of your cable bill, you have to add on so many different things.
Yeah, and our cable
just
might
to
go
have
up.
everything.
I hear Comcast was asking for an increase.
I'm sure it will.
You know?
Then you have to add on Netflix, add on.
Yeah.
By the end of it, you're paying $500 on entertainment.
Yeah, I like the old stations. What is it, AMC or whatever? What else do I watch, Lola, that you like?
TMC.
Yeah, and MeTV.
TCM, I mean.
MeTV. Of course, if they take the Stooges off, I got the best of the Stooges on DVD. So, you remember the Stooges?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite? Tell me it was Curly.
Curly. I was going to say Curly. Yeah.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
That's good.
That was good.
Do that again, Lola, and I'll get you a lunch tomorrow, maybe. Come on, you want a lunch tomorrow?
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Wow, I might have to spend more than $1 on her tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent $1 on her lunch today.
Oh, yeah, what'd you get?
I won't mention the restaurant, Burger King, but for $4.89, here's what I got. I went to the $1 billboard. I got her a bacon cheeseburger. I went to the same billboard and got large fries for like 99 cents. Then I had to pig out a little bit. I got a double cheeseburger for like $1.69. The total bill came to like $4.89 with change. You
That's
know?
not bad.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Good thing you didn't add chicken fries, because then it would have jumped up to $8.
They do that. You know what I've never filled out? They give you a receipt. And if you respond within 30 days, you get a free burger if you buy a big burger, you know?
Yeah.
They find it, yeah. Oh, yeah, we can't give you a Whopper, but we'll give you a single cheeseburger. That costs, what, 99 cents and maybe 40 cents to make? You know,
Not even 40 cents. Are you kidding? I'm thinking pennies.
Yeah,
Pennies.
the amount they go through.
Yeah. What do you charge for a hamburger at the
$6.
arena? That's not bad.
That's not bad for at
You know what a
arena
hot dog's
setting.
going for at the Super Bowl? 19 or at 70. A chicken sandwich, what do you charge?
About $6 as well.
14.
That's usually, yeah.
Bottle of water.
3. at the arena.
9 at the Super Bowl.
That's unreal.
And if you want to take your wife to the Super Bowl, you're going to need almost $19,000 just to get in the stadium. How about that?
Wow.
I'd take Lola, but I felt bad about spending $1 on her this morning. You think I'm going to spend $9,400 on her? And then she wants to go to the concession stand and drink beer that's about $20 a bottle? Ain't no way, Jack. But it's amazing. How can they gouge? Because they can.
It's unreal for one night.
One night.
For one night of entertainment.
When I can sit at a bar or whatever and watch it on the big screen, because they're going to have Super Bowl specials everywhere you go that you're allowed to go in, or sit at home, close the doors, kick the cats out of the room, kick everybody out of the house.
Especially if it's not even your team.
Yeah.
Why would
Yeah,
you want to go if you, well, to see Brady lose maybe, that would be
You
worse.
want to see Brady lose? He's a Michigan guy.
I don't care what he is. I'm tired of Brady winning Super Bowls.
You going to say that if Patrick Mahomes wins 7 or 8 Super Bowls?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't have any allegiance to Mahomes, except he's cute. Looks good in a tight uniform.
I'll have to check that out because he's on every commercial in the world. Hey, you don't have to be somebody to get the discount, Aaron Rodgers. And then he gets mad.
Yeah.
I think he's got an attitude problem.
Those are cute commercials.
Yeah, they are.
really
I like the one with the ketchup. He's still squeezing the ketchup, on his steak. First of all, what idiot puts ketchup on a steak?
That's wrong.
Yeah, Lola? You put ketchup on a steak?
No.
Oh. I can understand Lola's favorite dinner is cooking Spam. She probably puts ketchup on that baby, We won't talk about Spam. We won't.
Spam comes up way too often.
I know. And I don't bring it up.
You don't,
I
yeah.
don't bring it up.
Really
I'd bring it up if I ate it.
You have now. You said you've never tried it, so don't.
I
knock
tried it as a kid in Bentleyville, where I live, but I
Well,
can't remember
that
what it
was
tasted
old
like.
Spam.
Yeah, and I remember
This is
tree.
new
New improved. There is new improved.
recipe.
Yeah.
And they're spending a lot of money because I guess people are watching their dollars when they go to buy food, and here's Spam. You can do 5,200 things with a can of Spam.
You can.
Yeah.
Cherry salsa.
Look at me, Ryan. 11 years I've known her. You think she ever invites me to her house for dinner?
No, I have not. I have not.
Well, you should.
I don't invite anybody over for dinner because that would require cooking.
Yeah, but if you invited me, we would have a Spam sandwich, right?
What is this thing you have about
I'd like
coming
to have dinner
my
at your
house
house
for dinner?
I think it would be nice. I'd bring a bottle of wine. I could
That's
bring in
all
some
right.
pizzas. I could bring in some real good food for the cats instead of the cheap stuff you give them.
Now you don't know what kind of food I give my cat.
You give them cheap fertilizer or whatever it is.
What?
What is it? Cat litter. That's it. Cat litter. I get cat
No,
litter.
I don't use cheap cat litter either.
What do you buy? Is it the red bag? You get the one Sam's
No,
Club?
I don't. I don't get the pure clay like you do. I get Arm & Hammer, Scoopable, Slide.
I'll give you a Harm and Hammer or whatever. Yeah, okay. All right. That's okay, Lola. I'd rather treat you for lunch and dinner here.
I say we call down Corey down at Casa Divino, see what kind of wine goes with Spam.
Oh, Bill's asking there.
Yeah.
Have you asked? Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sure.
And cheese. And they'll ask Janet from the cheese lady, what do you think about that? She goes, oh, I can come up with some cheese. I guess you can put anything with Spam.
Yeah.
Spam is just ham.
Oh, now we got a poet in the studio. Spam is just ham.
Well, it is.
Well, yeah, I know. It's okay. All right. There we go. Okay. You want to hear from a former National Hockey League coach? I should do a quote a day. You ready? There never has been a death attributed to a hockey fight. Why don't they write about the good things for a change? He means the media. You got a point there.
I agree with him.
Yeah.
There have been a few where I wish perhaps great bodily harm had come to someone, but
Yeah.
no, nobody's ever. How can you beat the snot out of somebody when they've got a helmet on and huge gloves and shoulder pads? It's really.
In the 70s, they didn't have helmets, and you had less injuries, it seemed, The gloves were like the gloves she wears or I wear out in the wintertime.
Yeah.
The sticks were just like little pieces of wood. A goalie now looks like he's going to go after robots, They got thick pads and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Are you working on a tricycle race between me and Lola at the Nailers game?
We're going to get that set up.
We've already called FanDuel. The odds are I'm going to kick her butt. 5-1 odds.
5-1 odds?
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to pull up next to her like in a horse race and shove her.
No
Oh, he
cheating.
will. He'll send her kick me.
Yeah, oh,
You
yeah.
know,
yeah.
yeah, I'm sure.
People would pay for it. You tell Denny this is a way to make some cash, Ryan.
We need some money. Let's do it.
I'll get you more cassettes.
Ryan.
We got to go. Big Rick is back with the Big Rick Show, or the Rick Show with Big Rick. He's big, and he's big on talent.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
I'm Michelle Franzen. President Biden in the Oval Office today, signing 2 executive orders to expand health care in this pandemic. He says undoing what was gutted during the Trump administration.
There's nothing new that we're doing here other than restoring the Affordable Care Act and restoring the Medicaid to the way it was before Trump became president.
The orders also allow for a 3-month period for Americans to register for health care under the Affordable Care Act and also addresses reproductive health. Many have lost health benefits after losing jobs during this past year. 847,000 Americans filing first-time claims last week. That's down 67,000 from the week before. ABC's Deirdre Bolton, though, tells us it's a slight improvement, but historically high.
We can take a look at this last week versus this week a year ago, and we can say there are at least 6 times more people needing assistance last week versus last week a year ago. So, yes, this particular week's data, a little bit better than what we expected, but overall still at least 6 times worse than where we were at this point a year ago.
Health experts say the surge on top of the surge of coronavirus cases from the holidays is on the decline, but plateaus are still high. And now the first cases of the South African variant have been identified in the U.S.
Health officials in South Carolina confirmed 2 cases of the South African variant, the first known cases in the U.S. The CDC has said it believes this variant is more transmissible, which could lead to higher caseloads, but the CDC says there is no evidence to suggest it is more deadly. Current testing shows the available COVID-19 vaccines do work against the variant, but it does appear they may not be as effective as the 95% efficacy that was shown during their clinical trials. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
And on Wall Street, the Dow climbing out of yesterday's lows. It's trading up 500 points. You're listening to ABC News.
Beachcombing, baking cookies, learning French. Aren't these what you'd rather be doing than thinking about your Medicare prescriptions? Well, Walgreens is here to help you get back to it with convenient refill and pickup options, expert pharmacists to answer all your questions, and Medicare copays as low as $0. 0. Which is also the number of cares in the world you'll have as you stroll the beach, eating cookies and speaking French. Oh la la. Walgreens.
$0 copays apply to Tier 1 generic drugs and select plans where Walgreens is a preferred pharmacy.
With the new president, so much is happening in Washington. Now, millions are turning to Newsmax TV, your trusted news source. They're going online to Newsmax.com for breaking news and downloading the free Newsmax app on their smartphones. Newsmax TV is on all major cable systems. If you don't get Newsmax, call your cable operator or watch it free on Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Xumo, Pluto, and smart TVs like Samsung and LG. Newsmax is real news for real people. Start watching today.
Feedback from an Arizona Democrat following the DHS national terror alert in the wake of the Capitol Hill riots.
Senator Mark Kelly was in the Senate chamber when it happened and says something like that can't happen again. When asked if his office has received any threats,
I think most of us right now are getting some kind of threat one way or the other. It's expected. And I think, when I got into this, when I decided to serve my country again by running for the U.S. Senate, I knew what I was getting myself into more than anybody else.
Kelly recalls today his wife, then Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, was shot on